Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 117 days, Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. Yesterday, millions of Ukrainians of Eastern Christian tradition celebrated Easter. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky said that on this day we celebrate the holiday of the resurrection of the Lord. Its main symbol is victory, the victory of good, victory of truth, victory of life. We celebrate Easter with unshakable faith in the irreversibility of these victories. On this day, a year ago, we all prayed that Ukraine would endure. Today, for Ukraine to win, stressed Zelensky. He added that Ukrainians don't just wait and ask, they win and create this victory themselves. Search and rescue operations have been completed in Sloviansk after the recent Russian missile attack that took place on 14th of April, reports LBUA. A total of 15 people were killed and 24 injured as a result of the attack. According to updated information, 5 people were rescued from the rubble, including a 14-year-old girl. The Russians caused the most extensive damage to a 5-story residential building in Parkovy Lane. Search and rescue operations to clear the rubble and search for people have lasted several days. Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov said that the losses of the Ukrainian side during the full-scale war are less than the number of victims of the recent earthquake in Turkey, reports Ukrainska Pravda. In an interview with the Spanish newspaper La Razón, Reznikov said that Ukrainian losses are critically smaller than the Russian losses. According to him, this means that Ukraine's main goal is to save the lives of its soldiers, while Russia uses them as cannon fodder. On 6 of February, southeastern Turkey and the surrounding areas of Syria were rocked by 2 earthquakes. The confirmed death toll from the destruction in both countries exceeded 50,000 people. The recently leaked Pentagon intelligence says that Ukraine suffered up to 131,000 total casualties, including up to 17.5 thousand killed. At the same time, Russia's losses are up to 223,000, including up to 43,000 killed in battle. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family, as well as share information on social media. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. 130 Ukrainian military were liberated in a major Easter prisoners of war exchange with Russia, reports Suspilne. According to head of President's Office of Ukraine, Andriy Yermak, among the freed are privates and surgeons who were captured on the Bakhmut, Soledar, Zaporizhia and Kherson fronts. 92 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine, 20 members of the Territorial Defense Force, 11 National Guardsmen, 3 border guards, 2 representatives of the naval forces and the State Special Transport Service are returning home. 48 out of 130 released were considered missing. Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal expects Canada to transfer to Ukraine the Russian aircraft An-124, known as Ruslan, and some other assets of the aggressor, reports TSN-UA. According to Shmyhal, Canada imposed new sanctions against Russia, including against the Volga-Dnieper Aviation Transport Company. Earlier, the court arrested 12 An-124 Ruslan transport aircraft of the Russian airline Volga-Dnieper, as part of the criminal proceedings opened at the request of the Ukrainian state-owned enterprise Antonov, reports Ukrainska Pravda. After Hungary and Poland banned the import of agricultural products from Ukraine, the European Commission said that trade policy belongs to the exclusive competence of the EU and unilateral actions of states are unacceptable, reports European Pravda. According to the European Commission, in such difficult times, it is extremely important to coordinate and approve all decisions in the EU. In addition, Ursula von der Leyen, head of the European Commission, spoke with Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki about the ban on imports of Ukrainian agricultural products in Poland. At the same time, the Bulgarian government considers banning Ukrainian grain and agricultural products as well to protect its farmers from dropping prices. Iran has sentenced 10 military to prison on charges of involvement in the downing of a Ukrainian airliner in 2020 that killed 176 people, reports Ukrainska Pravda. The commander who allegedly decided to launch missiles at civilian airliner was sentenced to 10 years in prison, while 9 others received terms ranging from 1 to 3 years. It is noted that the actions of the commander who oversaw the downing of the plane were caused by his ignorance of the situation and the mistaken belief that the identified target was hostile. On January 8, 2020, flight PS752 Tehran-Kyiv of Ukraine International Airlines crashed in Iran, killing 176 people. Citizens of 7 countries were on board the plane. On January 11, 2020, Iran officially admitted that it mistakenly shot down the plane. In January 2022, Iran rejected the offer of the International Group for Coordination and Assistance to the Victims of Ukraine International Airlines flight to join the compensation negotiations. The Highlights from Ukraine podcast is a commercial initiative of just 2 people, and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we're getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.